Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Compressor Chronograph Ceramic 2011 limited edition of 500. You can see and purchase this Master Compressor Chronograph Ceramic on our website, watchyouwant.com. If you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. And if you want to see additional details of this watch, including full pricing, click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of our screen at any time during this video. Now, on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, this is an impressive timepiece. For one thing, it wears its size well. Remarkably compact for a 44mm watch, it has absolutely no trouble conforming to the contour and the physical limits of my 16 centimeter wrist. Although my wrist is on the smallish side, I don't feel like I'm pushing the lower bound of the appropriate size for this watch. And I'd say that if your wrist is as small as 14.5 centimeters in circumference, you're going to find that this watch is an excellent ergonomic match. Now, it is fairly slim considering the amount of complication contained within, only 12.5mm thick, and you can see there's a little bit of a slope to the conical bezel and a step to the side of the case, so it will help a tighter sleeve or cuff up and over the flank of this. For a sport jacket, for a blazer, you're good to go, and in fact, a lot of formal cuffs are going to fit over this as well. Now, in terms of lug-to-lug measurement, it's modern and it's full size, but it's not actually oversized. 51mm from lug to lug is a lug-to-lug measurement that would apply to many 40mm watches out there. This one definitely wears its 44mm nominal width, quite compact and wieldy on the wrist. Now, part of the reason for that is that it is ceramic. With the exception of the case back, this watch is the virtually scratch-proof kiln-fired material produced by Jaeger-LeCoultre in its own facilities. It effectively has the same scratch resistance as the sapphire crystal itself, so this isn't the kind of PVD or DLC that you've seen on conventional coated steel watches. You can't scratch this through to gleaming metal, and in any case, you're unlikely to scratch it at all in conventional use. It also has a lightness to it that you don't get on metallic cases, even of the steel variety, so the watch feels wieldy and quite honestly, it works well on a smaller wrist. If you like the big watch style with the light watch feel, this is a great watch for you. Now, it has one of the best straps that Jaeger-LeCoultre included on any of its modern references. You can see that the spring bars are semi-conforming, so they trace the arc of the case flank, and they do close the gap, creating a nice integrated all-black watch look, but they don't have that quality of pinning themselves against the flank of the case, so they don't try to flare out and fight the curve of your wrist. But what really makes this strap exceptional is the way it feels under the hand. It has a silk and almost suede-like feel to this rectangular scale black alligator leather, a gorgeous semi-contrasting gray double stitch. You can see it's nicely bolstered as it approaches the lug, but it thins out as it approaches the soft underside of the wrist. And what I really enjoy, and this is sort of an unadvertised feature that I didn't realize until I got the watch in the hand, is that the underside of it is rubberized like many contemporary Zenith straps. So with the rubber layer to isolate the leather from moisture, sweat, grit on the wrist, it bodes well for the longevity of this gorgeous and very substantial strap. Now, it's paired with a classic, simple, brushed titanium pin buckle. Nicely thought out. You can see there's even a little bit of contrasting finish, polished on its flanks with a satin brushing and JLC engraved marquee on its top. But this is where the action is, and I have to say, the watch has an almost Teutonic look for a Jaeger-LeCoultre. Now, when the Master Compressor watches first came out in the early 2000s, there was a whisper going around that they were very French-looking, that perhaps JLC had leaned a little too heavily in the direction of the avant-garde. This watch, although immensely complicated with an automatic winding in-house column wheel and vertical clutch chronograph, is beautifully legible with a monotone date disc that blends right in. It's exceptionally functional and readable at a glance in any light, beautifully loomed. It also has a nice depth and a texture to it. As you can see that the Rayhaut, which bears the minutes and the second hashes, is nicely sloped down to transition from the ceramic bezel to the base of the dial, and you can see that each of the loomed indices, inspired by the late 1960s Polaris 68, is nicely raised from the base of the matte black dial itself. And you can also see that the sub-registers are nicely countersunk, again, just to add more visual nuance and another layer of articulation. You can also see that it's an easy watch to read. Now, constant seconds at 6 o'clock, you see chronograph seconds at center, and because it is a vertical clutch, if you like to have hours, minutes, and seconds at center, you can simply leave the chronograph running and just reference the chronograph seconds hand as your seconds hand. With a vertical clutch, there is no additional wear and tear on the drivetrain. You can also see the unique hour counter, which features a rotating disc and then a fixed index at the point that would be 12 o'clock on that counter. And likewise, the watch has an easy-to-read, white-on-black print minute counter at 3 o'clock, so the tri-compact's layout of the chronograph is beautifully portrayed, easily legible. It takes after the civil time, hours, minutes, and seconds. You can see it at a glance. Now, all of the functions of the watch are actuated through titanium chronograph pushers and compressor crown. The compressor crown is a wonderful modern JLC innovation. Red you're dead, white you're tight. A half turn completely seals or completely disables the seal, such that even when your hands are gloved, wet, or sweaty, you can easily manipulate this crown and easily bring it back into use when you need it, unlike the sometimes tight and obdurate screw-down crowns. It's also distinctive, and again, it's a signature of the manufacturer, patented and exclusive. It works beautifully, and it endows this watch with 100-meter water resistance. Now, under this case back, which speaks to the limited series status of the watch as well as its ability to pass the Master 1000 hours cased up chronometry control, we have a JLC caliber 751F 65-hour power reserve, automatic winding, unidirectional, high efficiency with unlubricated ceramic rotor bearings. It's also free sprung and again featuring the column wheel function selector for crisp actuation. It also features the vertical clutch. For surefire, we're set to the index at 12 exactly every time. Smooth stop-starting action, and once again, if you want to run the chronograph continuously, it gives you that flexibility as well. Now, of course, it is a free-sprung balance, but it also features a hairspring of JLC's own design, laser welded at the stud and the collet for additional stability. With twin barrels, it has excellent torque supply throughout the duration of the 65-hour power reserve, and again, automatic winding and high efficiency. It does top itself up quite quickly. It also features a quick set function for the date at 4:30 should you need to advance it. This is a fantastic watch that really ticks all the boxes. Supremely functional both in terms of telling time and telling chronograph time. Water resistant, scratch resistant, comfortable, and wearable on a broad range of wrists. You can see and you can buy this limited edition Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Compressor Chronograph Ceramic on our website, watchyouwant.com.